Okay, so the lesson is about 3.5. 3.4 was the basics of what the key point is about this unit. However, 3.5 and 3.6 is, 3.5 and 3.6 is the most important part of this unit, next unit, and unit after. So please pay attention to this carefully. And if you don't understand, you have to watch the video over and over again. Now, so we are dealing with factoring x squared plus bx plus c. Here, this is trinomial, right? So it is a bit more complicated than before. Some of you already know how to do this stuff. Let me just focus this again. Okay, so all you need to remember is this: product and sum. We call this decomposition. There's another way of doing this, but I'm going to introduce you guys product and sum for now. Now, if I have, for example, x squared plus 10x plus 21, in order to factor this trinomial, all you need to find is product and the sum. Now the product is the first number times the second number. So the first number is 1. The third number, sorry, not the second. Third number is 21. Therefore it is 1 times 21. So it is 21. Now the sum is then the middle number, which is positive 10. So you're looking for a combination, pretty much, that satisfies both of these two numbers. My 2 cents to you is find the numbers that satisfy 21 first. Do not start to find the combination from the sum of 10. There is infinite number of combinations. So take a look at the product first. Now, if I look at the product, if I have, let's say, 3 times 7, it's going to satisfy the multiplication product, which is 21. Now, the next step is you bring these two numbers down into the sum section, which means addition section. So, if I add 3 and 7, I will be getting 10. So, 3 and 7 is our combination. So, what happens is x squared plus 10x plus 21 now becomes a bit longer. How? Well, 3 and 7 is what we have as a combination. Break 10 into 3 and 7. Okay, so positive 3x, positive 7x, now plus 21. Next step then is the grouping. We did this in 3.4 pretty much. So take a look at the first two, take a look at the second two. So from the first two, the common factor is x, obviously. Hopefully everyone is now familiar with how to factor the two terms. So we have x and then plus 3. Now, the next one is positive 7, positive 21. So it is positive 7. We factor it out. And then we have x plus 3 again. So as before, we have common binomial here. So x plus 3 will be the one in the brackets in the first place. Second place will be the rest, which is x plus 7. You shouldn't have any problem with this part for now, okay? And the reason is we did this before in 3.4. The key portion is now this part of it, okay? So let's take a look at example 2. So example 2, we have x squared minus 2x minus 24. Ooh, negative numbers. That is fine. Same rule applies. It's always the same. So find the product. So the product is always the first number times the last number. So the first number is 1, since there's no number in the front as a coefficient. And the last number is negative 24. So it is 1 times negative 24, which gives me negative 24. Now, whereas the sum is the middle number again, so it is negative 2. So, you're looking for a combination, okay? You're looking for a combination. Now, what I want you to do is think about which two numbers can make 24. Forget about the sign for now. Okay, forget about the sign for now. Think about what two numbers can make 24. So there are 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8. Hopefully everyone can see this. 4 and 6, and 6 and 4. So it's the same combination. So we have 4 possible combinations. Now, using addition or subtraction, we cannot make 2 with 1 and 24. The gap between 2 is just too great, so that's out of our option. 2 and 12, same thing. We cannot make 2 or negative 2. 3 and 8, same thing. So it can be 4 and 6. So let's put 4 and 6 and 4 and 6. Oopsie. Okay. So 4 times 6 gives me 24. Okay. So we basically just bring these two numbers down to the bottom column. And then we have 4 and 6. Now, our job is to make 4 plus 6 equals negative 2 by putting negative sign either in the front of 4 or in front of the 6. Obviously, if I put the negative in front of 4, it's not going to be negative 2. Therefore, I put negative sign in front of the 6. So 4 plus negative 6 is negative 2. That satisfies it. Now I have to change the number above to the negative 6 as well. 4 times negative 6 becomes negative 24 as well. So we have the combination, which is 4 and negative 6. So the next step is then break the middle term. Always, always, always break the x term or the middle term. Okay, so I have negative 2x minus 24. Now this negative 2x becomes 4 and negative 6. So x squared plus 4x minus 6x minus 24. If you want to check, well, 4x minus 6x is negative 2x. So yes, it is verified. Now having said that, group the first two and the last two, and then factor the common factor. So x squared plus 4x, we have x as the common factor, so x plus 4. And negative 6x minus 24, well, take negative out always. Always, always take the negative out for now. And then 6 and 24, we take out 6 as well. So we have x plus 4. Okay. Now, then we have the same binomial, so it becomes x plus 4 and then x minus 6. So, oopsie. So the factoring portion shouldn't be a bit too difficult. It shouldn't be, okay? The problem is always finding the combination, okay? Always, always, always finding the combination. So let's move on to example 3. So the example 3, well, you have the table. It is up to you whether you fill out the table. I am just going to factor it straight from the beginning. Okay, so we have example 3. Now, example 3, what I want you to do is this. X squared plus 3x minus 18. So again, the product is the first coefficient, which is the first number, times the last number, negative 18. The sum is the middle number, which is positive 3. And we are looking for these two combinations. Okay, so what times what gives me 18, and it can be somehow result in 3 with addition or subtraction. So just write it out. 1 and 18 if you're not sure. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, and 4 doesn't work, 5 doesn't work, so it's 6 and 3 again. So it's only these 3 combinations we have. 1 and 18, no, it's not going to make 3 in any way. 2 and 9 either. So the only combination is 3 and 6. So 3 and 6, bring these two down, 3 and 6. Now our job, since this is negative in the multiplication, one of the numbers in the combination has to be negative, so that when they are multiplied it becomes negative. So it's our job to figure out which one's in the negative. Take a look at the sum. It's positive 3. So if I put negative sign in front of 3, it's going to result in a positive 3, and it's going to result in negative 18 when they are multiplied. So we have the combination, which is negative 3 and 6. So we break x squared plus 3x minus 18 into x squared minus 3x plus 6x minus 18. Okay, always break the middle one into 2, the combinations. Once I have that, first 2, last 2, and then x minus 3, positive 6, okay, always the first leading coefficient come and follow that sign, so positive 6 and then x minus 3 as well. Now, once that happens, binomial, they're the same, so it's common binomial, take it out, and the rest is going to be the second bracket. Okay, so if you factor it successfully, you should have this. Now, let's then take a look at example 4. Example 4 is something a bit special, okay? Now, this one I have to mention the steps of factoring. So, steps to the factoring is, in general, okay? In general is the first, find common factor of all terms. Okay, so find common factor of all terms. Then 2, it's either binomial or trinomial. Okay. Now, if it is trinomial, okay, we're dealing with a trinomial now. So 2, I'll say dash 1. So if it is trinomial, then it is product and sum method that we are doing. Okay. If it is binomial, okay, then make sure it has subtraction sign. Okay. Between the two terms. Then we do differences of squares, which you haven't learned yet. You're going to be learning this in 3.7. Okay, so you're going to be learning this in a bit. So this is in general steps. So let's take a look at example 4 more specifically. Okay, so in example 4, we have 3x squared plus 12x plus 9. So the first step was find the common factor of these 3, all the terms. What is the common factor? Hopefully you saw it. It is 3. So I take 3 out, so it becomes x squared plus 4x plus 3. Then do I have 3 terms or 2 terms? I have 3 terms. So once I have 3 terms, then use product and sum rule all over again. So it becomes as a product of 3, since 1, okay, times 3 is 3. Now sum is 4. 2 numbers. What times what is 3? Well, there is only one possibility. 1 times 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Yes, 1 plus 3 is 4. So everything is perfectly fine. So I have 3, and then x squared plus x plus 3x plus 3. As your second line, I just broke 4x into the combination numbers. Okay. Then we have 3, the first 2, as x and x plus 1 plus 3 x plus 1. Okay, x squared plus x, the common factor is x. And then 3x plus 3, the common factor is positive 3. So I just took them out. Then I have 3. The common one is here x plus 1, and whatever the leftover is, x plus 3. Okay? So you should be able to do this by the end of this lesson. Okay? Make sure you remember the path that I wrote with example 4. This applies to in general. Okay? So then let's take a look at example 5. So example 5, what I want you to do is I want you to pause, okay, and give it a try. Okay? So example 5, I want you to pause and I want you to give it a try. Okay? So I believe you have paused and then you actually gave it a try on your own. So the example 5 is I have bx squared plus 10bx minus 24b. So as everyone can see, b is the common factor of all three terms. So take b out. Then I have x squared plus 10x minus 24. So then decide whether I have 2 or 3 terms. I have 3 terms. So then the product will be I'm just going to write it here. Product will be negative 24 since there's no number in front of the x squared, and the last number negative 24. Whereas the sum is the middle number, which is positive 10. So two numbers, that's what we're looking for eventually. So to get the 24 and 10, we have various combination. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, okay, 4 and 6, and 6 and 4, so it repeats. So we have 4 possibilities. We cannot make 10 with 1 and 24. It is too great. 2 and 12, well, if we add these two, we won't be getting 10, but if there's a subtraction to it, then we may be. So this is one possibility. 8 and 3, no, it's not going to make. 4 and 6, well, if we add 2 numbers, it's another possibility. So let's try 2 and 12 first. So 2 and 12. Okay, so 2 and 12. Now, 2 and 12, however, one of the numbers has to be negative, and when we add those two, it has to be 10. So if I put negative in front of 2, if I add negative 2 and 12, I get positive 10. Voila! So we get the answer here in the first attempt. That's actually nicely done. Now, to give you a little bit of hint is when you have positive number for the product, usually the combinations are added. Okay, usually the combinations have the same signs, whereas the negative sign for the product, then the combination signs are different. Okay, so keep that in mind. If the signs are different, then you're usually looking for the difference to be your sum. Okay, now having said that, we break now the 10x into negative 2 and 24. So we have b, and then x squared minus 2x plus 12x minus 24 equals now b, the first two terms and second two terms. The common factor of these two is just x, so x minus 2, and then these two will be positive 12, so then x minus 2 here again. Now the common terms are x minus 2 here, so b, then x minus 2 just comes out, and whatever the leftover, they have to be used, and they are in the same brackets, x plus 12. So if you have b times x minus 2 times x plus 12, you are on the very right track. Okay. Now let's then move on to the last example of this section, which is example 6. So example 6 states that we are looking for the two values for k such that the trinomial can be factored over the integers. Explain your reasoning. So basically what it means is if I have x squared minus 9x plus k, this has to be factored in a way that the numbers have to be integers. Okay, so we are making it. There can be a lot of possibilities. Okay, there can be a lot of possibilities. So let's see how we do this. Now, take a look at the three terms. We don't have any common factors here, so we simply do the product and sum. So the product is the first times the last, which is k. And then sum is, oopsie, negative 9. We don't know what times what or what plus what. Now, we don't know what combinations for k, so we simply make it from negative 9. As long as it makes sense, any combinations can be fine. So here, I can say the combinations can be 1 and negative 10. You can say negative 4 and negative 5. It doesn't really matter as long as when I add these two, I get negative 9. Okay, so in this case, I chose 1 and negative 10. So 1 times negative 10. Therefore, my k will be negative 10. Now, what I'm going to do on the top part right here is that I am going to verify it. Okay, I am going to verify whether x squared minus 9x minus 10 is factorable, and it is with all the integers. So again, our product and our sum, we already found the numbers, so you don't have to worry about it again, right? We said it is 1 and negative 10, 1 and negative 10 as negative 10 and negative 9. So we have x squared plus x minus 10x minus 10. Group the first two, group the last two. The common factor of the first two is x, so x plus 1. Now common factor of the last two is negative 10, so the inside of brackets again becomes x plus 1. We have common binomial, so it becomes x plus 1 outside, and whatever that is left over is in the second bracket. So we have x plus 1, x minus 10, all the numbers inside are integers, so we are good to go. Now for b, this one you should be able to try it on your own. Okay, you should be able to try it on your own. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause and then see whether you can do this. Okay, now I believe you have paused and then tried it on your own. So this is a bit different case now. We have x squared plus kx plus 6. It's the same idea, but now it's not the product that we are looking for, it's actually the sum. So the product here is 6, as everyone can see. The sum is now k, and we are looking for k. Now we have to verify it. So we are looking for the combination. What times what gives me 6? Totally up to you. Whichever the combination you choose, as long as that makes 6, k can be anything. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to make it easy, so I'm just going to multiply 1 and 6. 1 times 6 gives me 6, so I'm going to say 1 plus 6. Okay, so therefore, k is 7. Now let's verify this. Okay, let's verify this. So x squared plus 7x plus 6. Let's see whether this is factorable with all the integer numbers inside. So then we know already that it is two combinations as 1 and 6. So x squared and divides positive 7 too. Oopsie, sorry, my bad. X squared plus x plus 6x plus 6. Okay. Now, once I have this, the first two terms, last two terms, factor the common factor from the first two terms, so I have x plus 1, and factor the common factor from the second two terms, so we have positive 6 and x plus 1. Now the common terms are x plus 1s, so x plus 1, and then the other one will be x plus 6. So yes, we have x plus 1 times x plus 6. It is factored, and all the numbers we have are integers, so we are good to go. Now, you shouldn't have any problem with this after practicing it, you must not. This is the most important unit for your grade 10. Well, not only grade 10, but grade 11, grade 12, university first year and second year as well. Okay, so make sure you practice a lot, and I'll see you guys in class. Good job. Thanks.